Tell us a little about Byton for starters. There are a lot of electric cars on the way. What makes Byton different?
Well, if you ask, does it really make sense to come up with the next company building and selling electric cars? And the clear answer is no. But there's another story behind Byton. There are technologies coming up like connectivity and artificial intelligence, which will make cars smart. And this not only change the product, but change the business model. So the car will eventually become a smart device. If you want, you create a platform to make business with your customers, sell digital services, and eventually become a provider of shared mobility. And this is a root of Byton, because for traditional companies it might be very difficult to change a business model. They can change products, but not so easy a business model. And Byton is built around this new kind of business models.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit? Because that has a lot of implications. It's a platform for delivering services of all kinds? Like what?
So first of all, it starts with a car. The product is still a car. If you look from outside, it's a beautiful premium car. Will compete with BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. If you step inside, you will see big screens, a lot of variability. You can rotate the seats, a lot of space, a tablet in the middle of the steering wheel, high-speed connectivity. So everything you are used to have from a smart device. There's a lot of digital services we will offer. So this is about mobility. This can be very different things like entertainment, like work, like health. Basically, a platform where we create outside suppliers. And the next step then is, because today, cars are used between 3 and 5% of the time. So companies sell a lot of cars. They are not used, they are standing around, and they create a burden for societies. In the future, there's no alternative to shared mobility. So the number of cars will be reduced. They will be used in a higher percentage of time. And the real business will be selling mobility, but not cars. And in 10 years from now, this will be more than 50% of the revenue of Byton.
You have a very ambitious timetable. It seems to me that you will have cars available to test next year, and by the end of next year may actually be delivering some cars. What enables you to have such an ambitious schedule?
If you look to the timeline, what it takes to develop and then do tooling and assemble a car and test it, it's not such a long time frame. It's 2.5 years maybe. Most of the time in these big companies, where it takes 5 years to come up with a new product, is that there's so much time spent in discussions and decisions, because you have to talk to thousands of people. And this is a big advantage in our company. I can sit together with my first line today and take every decision we need. So we can cut off all this decision time. And this is one of the reasons why we can move fast. The other thing is, I was really surprised how much people can do and afford and reach if you really let them do. If you don't restrict them, but just let them go.
I've heard this from a number of people, actually, that it is amazing. It requires the CEO, it requires managers to let go a little bit, right? And this is difficult for some managers.
Yeah. There's another reason why it makes sense to build up a company and a culture from scratch. Because you're right, you hire a lot of people, the best ones. Yeah? We want to have the best ones. We motivate them, we create a common vision. And then the only way to make use of it is let them do, because they know how to do their job. Why should I control it?
We see that CEOs are sometimes having to speak out on issues that have to do with laws here and there. They never used to do this. The conventional view was, keep your head down, focus on the business, and you'll be okay. Has the public's expectation of CEOs changed over the course of your career in business?
I don't know if the perception of the customer expectation really has changed, because the customers at the end of the day, they are just caring for products. But if it comes to the response, if you define your own responsibility and if you ask what does it take to make your company successful now and in the future, then it might have changed. And it's not any longer about just business, do business, but it's about taking responsibility for the development of societies.
On a larger issue, there are people arguing today, and I'm sure you've heard this, that capitalism itself is in some kind of crisis, that people are troubled, the disruption is too much for some people. What do you think the future is?
It's a very general statement and very difficult to give an answer, and a specific answer on it. I wouldn't say it is in crisis, but as we talked before, the responsibilities of business leaders might change. Yeah? It has to go away from just caring about your business, like that business, the business of business is business, but the business of business is more taking care about societies and development of societies. Because at the end of the day, we have to create an environment and a working space for all of the people, and don't leave people behind. Because if you look to the political situation worldwide, you will find that there's more and more, people are more and more divided. And one of the reasons is that some people get richer and others get out of their living space. And there's a clear responsibility for business leaders to turn this around and move it to another direction.